experiences. Obviously, West Coast to East Coast, very different mentality, different cultures, but again, great things to take away, great people. And obviously going to Utah and being a part of a religious faith and faith-based community at BYU was a great experience. I have so many friends, still keep in touch with everyone each place I've been to, so it's been not super orthodox, but a great journey.
All right, so how do the offenses change in those three spots, and which would you prefer the best?
Yeah, I mean, there's all different things. Football's football at the end of the day, but going from an air raid to West Coast to BYU, so just kind of a more West Coast, but kind of a hybrid with some air raid concepts. There's things I like about each one. At the next level, probably be playing in more of a pro-style offense like at Pittsburgh, which Coach Ignetti came from, so it makes a lot of sense. But, again, I tell everyone, people get egos about which offense is best, and this is my offense. There's different offenses, schemes, and types of concepts you can take back and forth. Coach Harrell, the area guy at USC, played in a West Coast offense in the NFL too, so he's been around both, and he kind of implements some of that stuff too. So again, it's all one and the same.
All right. So when you send a guy in motion, what are you looking for from the defense? How do you adjust?
It depends on the team. Some teams kind of show man or zone indicators. Some teams don't do that. They do run with the zone, the player who runs, and it doesn't necessarily tell you anything. Some teams, they'll rock and roll the safeties in their man, or they'll just bump over and give you a better indicator. I think, understanding more what are the rules of the defense and how motions impact that.
So is there any one example you can give, one play that sticks out in your mind where you sent a guy in motion, you read the defense, and you audibled out of it for a big play?
Yeah, so at Pittsburgh, we did a lot against Tennessee week 2 in 2022. We pretty much just put the T outside, the running back, and we brought him in, see what kind of defense they're in. If they're in man, I give an alert, throw a slant for a first down. If not, they're in zone. We'll run like a stick concept or a quick game concept. And again, that was just a lot of easy completions on the field.
Have you met with Tampa Bay this week?
I don't think yet, but we have meetings Friday as well.
Kedon, what is your memories of Michael Jackson at USC? He's transferring to Georgia. What kind of receiver is he?
Oh, Mike Jackson's a great player. He was pretty young when I was there, but we kind of knew he'd be a really talented player, a lot of flashes. Excited for him, actually. I'm not as good at following the college as I used to, but it's cool to see that he's getting the opportunity.
Any questions back to BYU that we're going to be talking to next year here at the podium?
Yeah, there's a lot of young guys, but so many talented guys. A guy stands out. Chase Roberts, he had the one-hander against Arkansas, but a great competitive receiver. Cody Epps, Keanu Hill. There's some guys up front, Connor Pay, who's I think probably had a chance to come this year, want to stay and help his stock. So there's probably a ton of others that I'm forgetting about. Tyler Batty's one of them too. A lot of great players. I'm excited for what they'll have year 2. Coming back, year under their belt. They're going to do a lot of things. I think they'll surprise some people next year.
What's Kingsley like off the field?
Kingsley's great. He's team captain this year. Works really hard, really talented. And I think people are going to be surprised by how big and physical he is, but also how fast and well he moves around.
Have you been around a sophomore captain in your career?
Trying to think. I don't know. He might be the first one. Yeah.
What set him apart to allow him to be that?
Yeah, I think just guys recognize how talented he is, and especially the coaching staff, and he's a special player, and I think it stands out from the moment you look at him. You're like, man, this guy's a tackle. He could be a forward in basketball just by how he carries his weight and how he moves around.
Have you had any experience with helmet communication, which I guess is coming to the college game?
Yeah, in the Shrine Bowl we did it. It took a little bit to get used to, but it's pretty nice to have it. I think the biggest thing, like we talked, is all the stuff about the signal stealing and all that. But I've dealt with it firsthand. Everyone talks about just one school doing it. Every school's doing it to some extent, and I think that'll help clean up the game a little bit. And obviously, you see it at the next level.
What was the adjustment at the Senior Bowl?
Honestly, I just had to get used to the body language of looking out to the sideline and looking, just sitting in the huddle, and it's kind of nice to be able to kind of get some last seconds reminders from the coaches, and also you get more time with the line of scrimmage.
Any questions this week you weren't expecting?
Not yet. I think it's been pretty easy for the most part, or not easy, but I'd say it's been pretty football related. I haven't gotten any left field crazy questions yet.
Your meal plan, your meal prep change from the 3 stops, or are we eating pretty much the same thing in the season?
Yeah, we did do a meal plan. The agent did a great job, and the guys out in California had a great, great meal plan. But again, I was pretty good throughout the season. I'd like to think. So I just had I got to put on probably 5-10 pounds throughout the off season. And,
You got a cheat day specific thing you go for?
So I'm training out in California with all those guys. Sam Hartman and I, we go to this place called Stacks in Southern California. It's like a pancake place. That's like our breakfast spot on Wednesdays, our off day. So that's probably our biggest cheat meal.
What do you order? What's the order?
So we get a breakfast melt sandwich with bacon. Those have side potatoes, and then we get a stack of pancakes. Sam switches up, he gets blueberry pancakes or plain ones. Like I get the chocolate chip. I'm a little bit worse than him.
Who would you draft first overall, excluding yourself?
Well, I guess everyone's kind of saying Caleb, right? So, I'm not sure. I'm not a decision maker, but I think that's kind of the consensus decision that most people are making.
Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you guys.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
What do you think about the new EA college football game? What overall you think it would have been?
I guess depending on what year, right? No, it's exciting. I remember actually playing NCAA 14 with my buddies, and we did the updated rosters and stuff. And throughout college, even last year, we'd fire up the Xbox 360. I remember my freshman year, roomed with Jude Wolf, a tight end at USC, and we went back and bought a 360 and NCAA 14 just so we could play the game, and it was really fun. I don't know. I'd hope my overall was above a 90, but I mean, people probably want to say about that, so I'm not sure.
Did you get the NCAA 14? How do you find it? Because they be taxing nowadays.
Yeah, one of my friends had it. He never gave it up since he was younger. And then one of my me and Jude went and bought one. It was she was $150 or something, but it's kind of worth it. It's a great game. It really is. It holds up too, just the engine and everything. So it's pretty fun.
Who do you think should be on the cover this time?
This year, probably Jaden, right? I'm training with Jaden. Jaden's a great kid. Won the Heisman. I feel like Jaden deserves it. But there's also, since it's not been out for a while, you could probably argue if there's 15 dudes who could be on it as well. So maybe they'll do a collab with everybody.
Who do you play as when you roll up in NCAA 14?
So I was just saying, we usually did the updated rosters. I was joking with Sam. I played with him a lot, Hartman, at the when he was on Wake Forest using their offense, because it's kind of fun to just sling it around. Honestly, I was looking for the air raid playbook and just sling it around.